Okay, so here's something that never ever happens. Anyone who read the Roscioli Wine Club Times will understand completely why. And I would encourage you to read those articles because they're really, we wish you could come with us. We wish you could be here in Italy. We wish, we had the ability to take, our now well over 1,000 members that we have now with us everywhere, but of course we can't. So our goal is to, find as many ways as possible to bring you as close here. That's why we do the videos of the wines. That's why we speak about the wines. We write about them. One day I should write a book probably about all of my travels. But anyways, if you've read the Roscioli Wine Club Times, you'll understand that Alessandro has a big aversion to Amarone. It's one of those wines that, sometimes people come in asking for, and every time we actually buy it, it sits in our cellar forever, because as soon as we give it to our customers to try, or if they say, oh, I want an Amarone, and as soon as they have a wine beside it that's not Amarone, suddenly they don't like it anymore. But when it's all you know, it's what you know. And of course, Amarone is a big, important wine in the US. It's a heavy, heavy, heavy export. I remember when we were in Valpolicella, we were speaking with a winemaker who was saying that about 70% of all the Amarone is actually exported. It's actually barely even drank here in Italy. That said, every once in a while there's an anomaly. And if there's going to be an anomaly, our colleague Gaetano, who is a complete biodynamic, organic, supernatural, super, super extreme natural wine lover, if he is going to say that there's an Amarone that's actually possible to drink, of course it's going to pique our interest. So of course he brought it and had Alessandro and I try it, and we were shocked. It was so much more refreshing than we would have ever imagined. There's actually a couple of Amarones that we do have. Brigaldara is also a beautiful one that we regularly have. It was in the wine club actually in the past. But anyways, these guys are farming biodynamically. They're really working in a completely different style. So this is not going to be quite as heavy and unctuous and cloying as some of the other ones have been that you might have tried. Especially everyone, of course, knows Masi. That's the big, huge producer. In fact, a lot of these producers are very, very quite big in this region. Amarone, of course, goes through, the reason we don't like it as much as sommeliers is simply because it goes through the appassimento process, which is the drying of the grapes so that they lose about 35% or so of their waters and such. And so when you end up pressing them, the juice and the sugars are much more concentrated, which means they end up actually having quite higher alcohol contents. This one here is 15.5%, although I have seen them 16.5, they can get quite up there. And they're a little bit more challenging to pair with food because they tend to be slightly sweet. So pairing them with a dinner, unless, I don't know, maybe you have, a big piece of beef with some type of a cherry red wine reduction sauce or something. I don't know, something that has to have duck, it has to have something sweet behind it. Otherwise, that sweetness is really going to destroy what you're preparing. This is more of a wine often that you'll want to have with a fireplace. Just having at the end, when you're warming up from a ski trip inside, that's the ideal moment for Amarone. So that's how I would pair this one. But that's it. We'll be curious about your opinions on this one, and tell us if you want any more Amarone in the future in the wine club.